Hello everyone. Let's jump straight into a PMO model that operates at the highest level of the organization. In professional terms, an enterprise PMO, often called an EPMO, is a centralized PMO that aligns projects, programs, and portfolios directly with organizational strategy and enterprise-wide objectives. Now let me say that in very simple English. An EPMO looks at the entire company, not just individual projects. It asks, are all our projects across all departments moving the business in the same direction? You've probably seen organizations where IT is running projects, operations is running projects, marketing is running projects, and none of them seem connected. An EPMO exists to fix exactly that problem. So the key takeaway here is this. An EPMO connects all project work to business strategy at the enterprise level. And once we understand that big picture role, the next natural question is, how is an EPMO different from a regular PMO? Let's break that down together. From a professional perspective, an EPMO operates above departmental or functional PMOs and focuses on enterprise-wide alignment, prioritization, and value delivery. Stay with me here. In simple terms, a traditional PMO might focus on doing projects right. An EPMO focuses on doing the right projects for the whole organization. You have probably seen situations where one department is overloaded while another has spare capacity. A regular PMO may not see that. An EPMO sees across the entire organization and helps balance effort. I once saw an EPMO identify that 3 departments were funding similar initiatives without knowing it. When they were aligned, costs dropped and results improved. So now that we understand how an EPMO differs in scope and perspective, the next step is understanding what an EPMO actually does on a day-to-day basis. Now let's talk about responsibilities. Professionally, an EPMO is responsible for enterprise-level governance, portfolio alignment, performance visibility, and strategic execution support. Let me simplify that. The EPMO helps leadership see what is happening across the organization and make better decisions. You've probably seen executives ask questions like, which initiatives give us the most value? Or, where are our biggest risks? An EPMO exists to answer those questions clearly. I once saw an EPMO introduce a single enterprise dashboard. It didn't add new work, it just connected existing data. Suddenly, leadership had clarity they never had before. So now that we understand what an EPMO does, the next logical question is, how much authority does an EPMO actually have? Let's explore authority. From a professional standpoint, an EPMO typically has high influence and often significant authority over portfolio decisions, standards, and enterprise governance. In simple words, when an EPMO speaks, senior leadership listens. You've probably seen PMOs struggle because they sit too low in the organization. An EPMO is positioned close to executive leadership, which gives it visibility and impact. I once saw an EPMO pause several initiatives because they conflicted with a new strategic direction. Those decisions were accepted because the EPMO was trusted at the enterprise level. So now that we understand the authority and influence of an EPMO, the next step is understanding where this model works best. Now let's talk about fit. Professionally, the EPMO model works best in large, complex organizations with multiple portfolios, competing priorities, and strong strategic focus. Let's break this down together. Small organizations usually don't need an EPMO, but large enterprises often can't survive without one. You've probably seen organizations grow quickly and then struggle with alignment. An EPMO brings structure without forcing every team to work the same way. I once saw an organization introduce an EPMO only after repeated strategic initiatives failed. Once alignment improved, execution became far more predictable. So now that we understand where an EPMO fits best, the final step is understanding the value it delivers to the organization. Let's bring everything together calmly and clearly. An enterprise PMO delivers value by aligning strategy with execution, improving enterprise-wide visibility, optimizing investment decisions, and ensuring the organization focuses on what truly matters. In simple words, the EPMO helps the organization move as one system, not many disconnected parts. When done well, an EPMO turns strategy into coordinated action and helps leadership lead with confidence instead of guesswork. So now that you have mastered the enterprise PMO model, its purpose, scope, authority, and value, you are perfectly ready to move forward. We are going to discuss IT PMO versus business PMO in details in next chapter.